A Vampire in the Garden is a story about a young girl, Momo, a human soldier who befriends a vampire named Finne in a world where vampires feed on humans for survival. Together they set out on a dangerous journey towards a rumoured paradise where humans and vampires can live in peace side by side. If I had to describe A Vampire in the Garden in one word, it would be almost. I almost loved this show. This relationship was almost written well, and I almost fell in love with the lore and setting. A Vampire in the Garden constantly misses one key detail with every aspect of the story, and while the plot is one that I enjoyed greatly, if you steal £10 from someone every single day, they'll be 100 in the gutter within about 2 weeks. What I'm trying to say is, it adds up greatly. So much so, that whilst I finished this show feeling sad that it's over, I was also left feeling drained and unsatisfied. So, sit back, relax and enjoy this totally factual, non-opinionated review of A Vampire in the Garden. Things I liked about A Vampire in the Garden. The music. Holy Dracula, that soundtrack is sick. Let me tell you something, those vampires may suck blood, but they have tunes. In this world, music is a strictly vampire thing, and humans are forbidden to interact with it. They're only allowed to listen to podcasts or something. This is a major plot point in this show, and my words did the music really emphasize it. Super good. Obvious praises go to Oratio Nocturna, the best ending sequence in 2022. Why is it not a contender, Crunchyroll? What the hell? And you're still wondering why no one takes your awards seriously. Though, for the love of Matsuri Kanroji, can we please have the lyrics of this song released? I've maybe listened to this song for about 20 hours in total, from October up until now, and I have no idea what she's saying. But it's still an absolute banger. And even if you think that the songs aren't all that, have fun finding a replacement song for what is happening on the scene. Pretty much every scene portrays the emotion that Wit wanted you to feel in the moment. If it's to scare you, then they will scare you. If it's to pump you up, you will feel pumped. And if it's to make you cry, grow the fuck up, this is an anime, you wimpy tosspot. All in all, A Vampire in the Garden has a 10 out of 10 soundtrack. Finne and Momo. Finne and Momo's relationship is that of a Romeo-Juliet type, with rocks on the road rather than the bullshit love and first sight that we're unfortunately exposed to a lot these days. Of course, it is a friendship, keyword friendship, built on a mutual goal, that being one of, man, I hate this world. We vamps and homos, we ain't so different after all. By the way, you sing pretty. But let's be real, all their lives they have been raised in a way to hate each other. Humans are deemed as worms, nothing but livestock to the vampires who are higher up in the food chain. So it's gonna take a little more than...
Oh Lord, Finne, that's a nice tune you have there.
Yes, my lamb. This is 2020 rap. Whenever we get Berner, look, we take a one of the Yeah, that's not happening. Sure, Momo likes the music, but she's fully aware that Finne could feast on her at any given time. Despite this, she has no interest in going back, because surely there's a place where vampires and humans can live together side by side. And there is, it's called Romania. The only problem is that Finne has trauma from another human before Momo, who she was unable to protect, and also had that same dream of living side by side with bloodsucker vampires. The show also explores how this friendship is taboo in the universe. It's a vampire and a human. It's like a lion and a zebra being friends. It doesn't sound like it's gonna work. It also doesn't help that Finne is the queen of the vampires, and Momo is a daughter of a human general. The show explores all of that. Oh yeah, and it's not weird that Momo is 14, as never once is this relationship depicted as romantic. Not once did Finne do anything that even hinted that these two were friends and nothing else. Did they show signs of anxious attachment styles that lead to clinginess? Definitely. Would it have presented this duo slightly better if Momo was an adult? Probably, but Fine is centuries old, so perhaps it wouldn't have made a difference, although the dumbass Twitter shippers would have shut up about it. All I'm saying is Wit is not creepy for the way that they present Momo and Fine's relationship, as it was never intended to be an intimate one. Overall, A Vampire in the Garden is an excellent Romeo and Juliet type story, with a setting that is pretty easy to get behind and fantastic music that complements the writing. Things I didn't like about A Vampire in the Garden: the pacing. And only 5 episodes to show all of that off. To call the pacing of this show fast would be a gigantic understatement. The thing is there are so many characters that I almost cared about. For example, Allegro, the vampire prince who promised to protect Fine no matter what. We could have explored their bond a little bit more. He didn't just have to be a plot device to obstruct the story, only to be given forced sympathy at the last second. Same thing with most, if not all, the other human characters. For one, we could have explored Momo's mother and uncle, as on the surface they sound like they could bring a lot. Momo, for one, has a rocky relationship with her mother. Perhaps because she was raised to be a military gal who one day filled the shoes of her once successful mother, or because of the threat of vampires is so high, every conversation just ends up being super tense. Or whatever, these are my thoughts, and I'm grateful that this show is allowing me to think. However, we're not given much. No flashbacks, very scarce dialogue, which don't really say much, so it's hard not to think of what could have been. Same thing with Uncle Kubo. He has a katana and seems very interesting. Wouldn't it be cool if they explored why on earth Kubo hates vampires as much as he does? Here's the thing. The show brings up a point that there were many human characters before Momo that were open to interracial friendships between vampires and humans. Surely we could have seen what went wrong for all of these and hopefully think for ourselves, okay, us homos and vamps are like chalk and cheese, cats and dogs, Demon Slayer fans and Sammy G viewers. Why is this the case? What fucked it up so badly that every single cross relationship ended up in the gutter? When you ask yourself this, you now have a grey morality type storyline where there are no good guys nor bad guys. Now you actually need to think on how on earth Fine and Momo will work towards this common goal of building a paradise where vampires and humans can live side by side, rather than it just being Momo and Fine versus the world. I could go on and on, but it just comes down to one thing. Every character who isn't our main duo has motives and values that are vaguer than a GCSE English literature essay. And I'm not really that mad about the flaws because Wit did establish a solid foundation with everything in the show, but they did not build as high as they could have. And fundamentally that is down to the screen time constraints. In conclusion, A Vampire in the Garden is about a girl called Momo who befriends a vampire named Fine as they search for a paradise where vampires and humans can live together side by side. This anime has all the right things to be called an anime of the year contender. A good story that doesn't fall into most traps in anime, with absolutely outstanding visuals and a nerve-jerker soundtrack, which I've been listening to for months. The only problem is they were given 5 episodes to show off what they wanted in this series, which led to very incomplete plot points and emotional scenes that didn't hit hard as they could have. Maybe if this was a Netflix special 8 episode, or if they condensed it down to a movie where they cut out all the nonsense and mainly focused it on Fine and Momo, but in a tidier way, then okay, sure, it could still be called an all-time great. You might absolutely love this show in 5 episodes, and I certainly did enjoy it. A Vampire in the Garden is not a bad show whatsoever. In fact, I would say it's one of the better animes of 2022. But I just wanted a little more to look at. Maybe I'm spoiled for choice, who knows. Final rating, 78 minutes out of 130 minutes. Right, gonna get back to revising for my exams. If you guys loved this video, be sure to give it a like, comment down what you thought of this anime, Join my Discord server if you want to chat shit to my face. Please like, favourite, share, subscribe, and of course, make sure to view.